What is up, guys? Welcome back to Monday Trends with Megan. Megan, thank you for being here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, John?
Good. This is the third one where you're in our studio in Jersey and I'm in Florida, and that's crazy because it's the third one. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think there's one or two more left like this, and then we're reunited.
Back in the studio. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Again, if this is the first time you're watching, the intentions of this is to give trends to small business owners, brands, anybody out there who is in business and trying to build a brand before they really pop. So, Megan, I will let you dive in first on our trends and what is going on in the digital world.
Yeah, definitely. So, a few LinkedIn experts got together to publish a study of the best practices for posting on LinkedIn. It's completely different than Instagram and TikTok. And if you aren't kind of studying the cadence of how much to post, how often, how long of a post to distribute, you could be seeing low engagement. So, if you're looking to get higher engagement on LinkedIn, they found that the recommendation for LinkedIn is that you post 1 to 3 times per week with a minimum of 18 hours between posts. But that's not just it. When you do distribute any sort of post, you have to make sure that you're generating some sort of engagement within that first 90 minutes. And the first comment should not be from you. So, whereas on Instagram or TikTok, a lot of businesses put their hashtags in that first comment, you do not want to do that on LinkedIn. Instead, you want to try to ask a question, promote some sort of conversation within the content of your post, and then respond to comments, continue to generate conversations in the comments. You also want to make sure that your content is between 1,200 to 1,800 characters. So this is a lot longer than an Instagram caption or a TikTok caption, even Facebook, right? On LinkedIn, you want to make sure that you're pushing all of that impact into the copy of your post. And then you want to make sure that you're not editing your post during the first 10 minutes of publication. When you do this, you are going to get lower engagement. So if you found that you made a mistake and you need to edit it, wait those 10 minutes and then go back in and fix whatever you have to. And if you're stuck, you have no idea, how am I going to come up with 1,200 to 1,800 characters per post 3 times a week? LinkedIn is testing out this new AI tool. Of course, AI has rolled over into LinkedIn too, where it's a content generator. So it'll actually give you prompts for ideas of what to write about. It'll ask you a few questions and then give you an entire topic that you can write about based on your experience, your industry, your audience. So LinkedIn is really taking over for businesses. And if you're not posting on there, you absolutely should. Remember, just 3 times a week.
What's interesting though about just a lot of these social platforms, so like Meta is going to be launching something shortly where in their ad platform there's going to be like generative AI tools to help you with backgrounds and copy and stuff like that as well. And what's interesting though is I feel like they're trying to remove the human error aspect of like, because anybody can go create ads now, right? Like if you're a small business owner, you can pop on there very quickly. You can go make ads. Like you don't have to be an expert. And most times, often they don't perform, and then small business owners have this bad taste in their mouth where it's like, oh, Facebook ads suck or LinkedIn ads suck or whatever. But when in reality, it was user error, right? So I feel like that's what this generative AI is going to do, where it's like, they listen, the social platforms, they want to spend your money, right? Bottom line, like they want to make those ad dollars and they want you to keep coming back. So how do they do that? By making sure you have better ads. And that's the very interesting part about this new generative AI tools that they're using, like LinkedIn. But that was my topic for Meta, for Meta at least, because with Meta, Meta right now, obviously, that's primarily if I had $1 for every time I got on the phone with somebody over the past like 13, 14 years, and they were like, yeah, Facebook ads don't work for my business or whatever. And it's like, well, who's doing them? They're like, well, my secretary, she's great. I'm like, well, what did she go to school for? She didn't go to school. I'm like, okay, great. Did she do any advertising? No. Okay, well then that's probably why it's not working. But it's so interesting. So meta, everybody's gonna AI. It's like that's it. Like for anybody watching this right now, it's like anybody that is wanting to understand, like, oh, how am I going to do this in the future? Literally, AI is going to be helping us a great amount, right? And I think again for the like the average small business owner who's like, I don't know how to do a lot of stuff. That's where it's going to come into play, where it's like you can get a base again, like this stuff. At the end of the day, it's going to help you, right? Like it can lead you. It's going to help you lead the horse to the water, but at the end of the day, like if you have a shit offer or if you have a shit product, like it's only going to go for so long, right? So at
Right.
the end of the day, you have to have a base of at least having a good product, having good value or a good offer to make you compete, right? Because this generative AI tools, this Meta, it's going to help you change out backgrounds, like things like that. It's not going to help you have a great product, right, or a great service. So it's really important that when you're going to these platforms, right, whether it's social or search, that you actually have good offers or you actually have a really good, compelling value for your business that is going to make somebody say, hey, this is interesting. I want to work with these people. And I think that's a big challenge. So AI, again, we've been talking about AI since day one of doing this, right? So it's like, and it's interesting because we started doing this on the cusp of ChatGPT, like launching and all this other stuff. But it's like now we're going to keep seeing all this AI stuff. And the one thing to keep in mind, whether it's Meta or LinkedIn, is that you have to take the time to invest in making a really, really solid and strong either offer that people can't refuse or a value proposition for your company. And if you don't have either of those, at least have a social responsibility, if like a mission/impact brand like Bombas Socks, as an example. They blew up because everybody knows that like when you buy a pair, they're donating a pair, right? So having generative AI make stuff for you is great, but keep that in mind. If you don't have good value or good offers, it's not going to help. But on that topic, again, Meta will be launching soon. So keep in mind, Meta will be launching soon, having AI be able to generate background images for better products. So if you're a makeup line and you don't love the background you have, they're going to have ones with 3 different types of samples as an example. So it'll give you 3 samples of different backgrounds that you can generate and regenerate based on your product and what you have on there. So again, little cool tool, but it comes down to you having really good product and offer. So again, I think the theme here is AI is like, that's the new thing right now.
Yeah, it's interesting because all of these AI tools, like I think about it on one hand, it makes advertising easier, right? Because now somebody without graphic knowledge or without video editing knowledge can put something together very quickly. So it's the ease of access there, but it's not just that. These tools are being built because of how rapidly assets have to be turned out or turned over, right? So when you're using these tools, also keep that in mind. Like it's not just you're going to create this one image or one video and that's it. They're that much easier to use because you need to use them that much more often to keep up with audience demand. So it'll be interesting to see how that evolves.
Yeah, while you were talking, my iPad fell over and my light went away. So I'm back. Right now, I am rigging together a iPad because where I am. So I agree with you 100%. Let's talk about this new Twitter CEO, Linda. So I saw that big time. It's big news, and I know that Twitter right now is really focusing on getting back advertisers. So that's obviously super important because right now, like I shared last time, that a lot of the car companies that were spending millions of dollars left because they're like, well, this guy owns a car company. Like I don't want him seeing my ads and like how I perform and like what we're doing. So that's conflict of interest. So a lot of people shied away from it. And so the goal with this new CEO is like, let's get some advertisers back. Let's have some more structure. And everybody keeps saying that Twitter, since Elon signed, like he's really had a lot of like I don't even know the exact words I keep seeing, but it's been like a dumpster fire internally for Twitter right, ever since Elon jumped in. So what are you seeing and what are you thinking?
So I actually came across a tweet from December that Elon put out that it was a poll and he tweeted, should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by this poll result. And the result was 57.5% of people voted yes, step down. And in the comments, there are so many different reasons. Some of the ones that you're sharing right now, it's a conflict of interest. So this new CEO starts in about 6 weeks. And she was the former head of advertising at NBC Universal. So it'll be interesting to see what expertise she brings to the table. But he's not moving too far. He is just transitioning into the exec chair and CTO. So he's going to be overseeing product and software development, which in my opinion, I feel like that's his strong suit. Like that's Yeah, that's his passion, is software development. So, and creating new things. So I think the company is better off with him in that position and bringing somebody more seasoned in to run a big social media company.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm interested to see how that turns out. Um, we'll play it by ear, obviously, and we'll see what happens. But
I
uh,
wonder if the poll results said no, if he would still be stepping down or not.
I
That
feel
would
like
be interesting.
what's interesting about him. I feel like everything he says he's going to do, as wacky or crazy as it sounds, like he's been staying true to it. So I almost feel like he would have probably.
Hmm.
Um, but then again, who knows? Because I feel like he's very like, let's see what they say, and then they're like, hey, I want you to step down. He's like, I'm going to step down then. Like
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. It's very interesting. He's super super intelligent, but also I think what makes him so unique and why he's so wildly successful is that most, like, what, at least from what I've seen, is most reasonable people never achieve massive success. When you're super reasonable and logical, you typically don't. It's the unreasonable people who are not logical that do. And the interesting part about his dynamic is that he's such a hybrid. He's so intelligent, he has a lot of logic, but he's also very unreasonable. And that's what I respect about him. So I think that's the thing. To answer your question, I think he would have definitely probably not stepped down if he got that, because he's probably like, all right, well, they said no, so let's fucking keep going with it. But while being like one of the smartest people on the planet.
Right.
So yeah, what is also going on? So hit us with this Twitter verification.
Yeah. So a few months ago, Twitter came out with this blue check mark, gold check mark situation, right? Every user, if you don't have a blue check mark, your posts won't show up on the feed. But to differentiate yourself even more, businesses can opt for verification for this gold check mark. And it comes at a really big price. It starts at $1,000 a month. So a lot of small businesses are like, hey, I can't afford this just for verification for a gold check mark. This is astronomical. And Elon had just shared last week that they are now working on a lower cost tier for small businesses to be able to have that gold check mark, the same status as these larger organizations, at a much more affordable cost. So right now they're looking for ways to verify how to
For for a
onboard.
one-time fee of $9.99.
Yeah, right. Instead of $1,000 a month, it's $999 a month.
Yeah.
um, but hopefully, it is a lot more affordable, because in reality, $1,000, I mean, that's $12,000 a year that you're spending just as a verification badge on Twitter, right? So small businesses can definitely put that money to better use in advertising and getting reaching newer audiences. So they're going to come out with a more affordable option. They're just finding ways to onboard businesses right now to avoid fraud, because larger businesses might find a way to take advantage of the smaller cost too. So
Mm,
more news to come, but there's going to be assistance for small businesses, which is always nice to hear.
yeah, absolutely. All right, this is good stuff. So I think that pretty much wraps it. I mean, do you have anything else on your side?
No, I don't have anything else on my side. That is it for today. Um, yeah, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good week.
Good week ahead. And so again, just in recapping, if you're just watching this, so again, we went over Twitter's new CEO, the gold versus blue check for small businesses on Twitter, as well as generative AI for Facebook. And I think right now, again, like the theme we're going to keep seeing here, and I know it's going to be a broken record, but it's like Chat GPT, AI. Like right now, that is going to be a big deal for a long time. Let's just be honest; it's going to be a big deal for a long time. And it's a matter of not burying your head in the sand and saying, how can I actually get in and understand how to apply it to my business, to my ads, whatever I'm doing, so that your business and your brand can be successful. um, Guys, happy Monday. I still can't believe it's the third Monday. We're not crushing it in the studio together, Megan, but don't
I
worry,
know.
we're almost there. And guys, I mean, one of the things that I want to just end off with, I know obviously, we haven't, it's funny, and we haven't done Motivation Monday in a minute, right?
Mm.
But I think one of the things that I'm thinking about on that whole theme of what you asked about Elon Musk is, I think one of the things a lot of times people find themselves like really, really yearning for certain things, whether it's career wise, whether it's goal wise, health, whatever the hell it is. And when we talk about being unreasonable, right? A lot of times, and me being somebody who has dealt with, anxiety for a majority of my life and then been able to put like a cap on it, it's like a lot of times we're super flexible and bendable with things that really don't matter, right? But when it comes to massive things that matter to us, we get so reasonable. And my intention of this Monday and kicking off here motivationally is anybody watching it right now is, again, for your goals that you have for your business, whatever the hell it is that you have going on, whether it's personal business, yada yada. It's like don't bargain with yourself, right? Like don't allow yourself to negotiate with yourself, because I think a lot of times, especially the anxious part of my brain in the past, is like you negotiate these things with yourself, and in reality, right, you're only hurting yourself when you're doing that, right? Like nobody wants to wake up early every morning and go work out or go hit the responsibility list right away. But in most times, that's our brains, because our brains want us to be comfortable, right? So I hope this week that you get unreasonable with any big goals that we have for anybody watching, and only be reasonable for the people around you when you need to be. So I appreciate everybody watching in. Again, if you care about a small business owner, a brand, tune in. We are doing this every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And everybody out there, create a great Monday, and thank you for tuning in.